Welcome, everyone. Today, we're joined by an exceptional media professional whose career has successfully crossed the world of radio, television, producing, and live events. Through years of dedication, creativity, and passion, Kajal Maharaj has become a respected voice in South African media, inspiring audiences both on and off the screen. In today's conversation, we'll explore her remarkable journey, the moments that defined her career, the lessons learned along the way, her thoughts on the future of broadcasting, and the advice she has for the next generation of media professionals. Please join me in welcoming Kajal Maharaj to the show. How are you, Kajal?
Hello, thank you so much for having me. Very excited to be on.
Likewise. And so, Kajal, please tell me, you built a successful career across radio, television, and producing and live events. What first inspired you to pursue a career in the media?
Well, firstly, I want to tell you, you're making me feel old, hey? Stop it. I have been very fortunate. I've been very lucky to be able to be working in this industry for the amount of time that I have been working. It's actually across 2 decades, hey, that I've been in this industry. Such a blessing. And what inspired me to start this career? I think for a lot of people, and I always try to explain this, like a surgeon is born to be a surgeon. You know that in your heart. An attorney, a lawyer, um, you know, you know from that second that that is the career that you're meant to be in. So when people do ask me this question, I always tell them that this is a very God-given talent. Our
Hmm.
purpose in this world is given to us before we are even born. And all we're actually doing is fulfilling our purpose by walking the path that we're meant to. So for me, I do not believe that it was like a considerate choice. Like I said, oh, this morning I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be in the entertainment industry. No, like literally from the moment that I was born, I was that Bollywood dancing child, 5 year old at all
Oh,
the functions and all the events, dancing and singing and showcasing and playing these little role plays and dramatic moments from the time I was a toddler. And they did put me in the little toddlers and tiaras pageants, the ones that we had, which was like the Miss Tinkerbells and going up there on stage. So from the time I was about 5 years old, I was always on a stage. And so it really was just um, something that happened along the way where when I obviously got older and I finished school, I thought, what direction do I actually want to go in? Because at that point, you're usually pushed or forced into studying something that you might not actually want to pursue. So I was very blessed with parents that supported me when it came to the arts. Because when I finished matric, I did really well. I'm not blowing my own here, but it was distinctions. I could have gone into any career field that I wanted to. And at that point, families are like, you've got to be an accountant, you've got to be a doctor. And I was like, no, that's not going to happen. So I said, you know what, I really want to study drama and performance studies. And my parents were like, okay, let's do it. And then I did that, but I also majored in marketing, which I do believe they both go beautifully together because
hmm.
as an artist and as a performer, if you do not know how to market yourself as a
Hmm.
brand and as a business, if you do not see yourself as a business, then you will not actually sustain or make it in the industry because you've got to be able to think of yourself as a business product when you are an artist. So that's how I just ended up in this industry. It was like one foot in front of the other and following this passion and this purpose that I always knew I had. And I was blessed and lucky to be able to have the career that I have at the moment.
That's really
Did I
beautiful
speak a
because
lot?
no, 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 no. I was gonna say that it's so beautiful regarding your parents because, as you said, the typical Indian family is like saying you got to do a degree and then only
Hmm.
do your acting later, or
Or as a
so.
hobby, you hear
Mm,
that go do your little hobby, and it's not a hobby. And so many people will look at it and say, you know what, oh, you're just doing something that's not an actual career. So yeah, to be able to have parents that
mm,
support you, support, because at the end of the day, we can. And our parents tell us all the time that you can actually be whatever you want to be. But you cannot do that if you have people that do not support you. So if
That's
people are
true.
looking down at you and people are questioning and people are doubting you, you're going to go against the odds. And is that really possible? So to have a network, and this is where you can actually choose the peers and people you have around you. Have a supportive network that believes in you and your dreams.
Awesome. Looking back on your journey, what has been a defining moment that made you realize you were exactly where you were meant to be?
There's so many moments. I think I live in gratitude and I live in a present framework. So for me, it's literally waking up every morning and saying, wow, I am literally where I'm supposed to be. And thank you. So there's a lot of gratitude for that. Uh, this industry, when I had started out in it, when I just finished university, there were not a lot of opportunities like there is now for an Indian artist, an Indian actor. In uh, there was no opportunities. Um, we had started it out when I was coming out of campus, where to actually be in this career in South Africa, it was you were like, you they were like, do you need to be checked into some kind of facility? Because I don't think it's going to be possible. So when there was such limited roles and there's limited resources, limited exposure, um, for me, honestly, the moment where I woke up and I said, wow, okay, was, when I did get cast on the show of Imbewu the Seed, which was on ETV as a lead, as a principal actress. And I wanted to act in Durban because my family is here. My kids are here. So I did not want to be one of the artists that said, I'm going to leave and go to Cape Town and Johannesburg or leave the country, because that's usually what you have to do. So for me, to have that moment that I really did, I visualized it. I was like, it's going to be this, it's going to be that, I'm going to be in Durban. And when that did happen, that was the moment for me when I sat back and I was like, huh, okay, all right, ding, ding.
Ah, that's a
Yeah.
beautiful balancing act.
Mm.
Beautiful. All right. You've worn many hats throughout your career. Which role has challenged you the most and why?
Mm. Are we talking about the roles that we're playing on TV and stage, or our real life roles like motherhood? That
Anything,
would be
just
it.
in general. Just in general.
It's so fascinating. What I always like, when you are an artist, you actually study people. You
Wow.
really do, because you're studying behavior, you're studying personalities, you're studying the way someone talks or does something or moves. So you're really in this business of studying people. And what I've noticed is that we're all actors, every single one of us. We're all wearing different masks and we all have different roles that we play. You, for instance, will have a different role when you're here on your podcast as a person that is presenting. But when you're then, at home with your family, that's a different hat. That's a different role that you are actually playing. When you go into business or school or the grocery shop, or you're going to fill petrol, you may actually have a different hat that you're wearing with the petrol attendant than you would with everybody else. So on the day to day, every single one of us, we're juggling these multiple roles because we're not the same person 24/7. And we are different with different people because they'll bring out a softer side in us, a more vulnerable side, a stronger side, a more aggressive side, multiple, multiple different roles. So I just wanted to say, for people that are watching, it's so nice to be able to internalize that and look at yourself or look at your life and be like, what are the roles that I play on a day to day? And what are the roles that I actually want to carry on. And when are the moments that I want to actually take that mask and put it down? And when people will actually get to see who I am, the real me. Because that's really when you get to that journey in life where you're able to just let go of all the masks and let people see the real you and who you are. And I digressed. So to go back to the question of the roles that I have played, challenging roles. I've had I've actually had many challenging roles, and I think being on stage and being in theater is probably the most challenging because you're not only holding a character but you're live, and on top of that you
Mm,
need to have the physical, like the energy. You've got to be able to, like, you can't stop for a tea break. And you can't stop when something's hurting. You can't stop if you've got a cramp. You cannot, you've just got to be able to go. So you need endurance and stamina.
mm,
You need to not be
yeah,
thrown by your audience because sometimes people can laugh or they can say something that makes you want to break character. And you could have a good audience or a bad audience.
mm,
So, because of that very live and very interactive theater, for me, it doesn't matter what role I'm playing, that becomes the most challenging because of how you've got to hold that space. Because you are live, and every single show is different because you're going to be bringing a different energy, whether you want to or not, because we're human beings. So, whatever happened in the day may change the way you may perform that evening. So it's it's very layered. It's very complex, and I think that really is probably one of the most challenging things to do as an artist is to be able to just go, 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 and you go for different shows. So it's multiple shows. So there's no time to actually have a break and rest. Sometimes you're doing two in a day. So
wow.
it's yeah, it's a lot.
That's really fascinating. The South African entertainment industry is constantly evolving. What changes have excited you the most, and what opportunities do you see for the next generation?
No, I'm so excited because I did say that, when I had started, there was not a lot of opportunities for specifically Indian artists. And it's so exciting that now that entire world has opened up for the industry where there are full on movies and shows and sitcoms, soapies. The world is opened up for artists that actually want to be in this industry. So that's really what excites me when I get to see the opportunities. I get to see all the different shows that are happening. I get to see other artists succeed. I get to see younger artists growing and getting opportunities. It's very exciting because there's so much hope. And like I said, maybe artists don't have to leave. Maybe they don't have to go somewhere else to be able to get work. Um, looking towards the future, we obviously just hope and pray that there's going to be more opportunities, more work, and more stuff for people to do right here.
Every successful career comes with setbacks. Can you share a challenge you faced and the lessons it taught you?
Well, this specific industry comes with a lot of setbacks. There's multiples.
Mhm.
I think the first one that you've really got to be okay with, and this is rejection.
Mm.
You're going to be rejected every single day.
Wow.
And when you're growing up, when you're young, for me, I did mod. So I started modeling. So I was modeling first, and then the rejection you'd get in modeling was obviously that you didn't fit a specific body type or a certain height. Uh, it was very, very critical. And I remember being told many times, "Oh, you're never going to be a model. You're never going to do well in this industry." And mind you, you get rejected every single day. I was just stubborn. I didn't like to listen. And I had a very successful modeling career, and I've even represented South Africa in international pageants like the Miss Tourism International. So I put myself on this platform where I said, I actually don't care what you have to say. I don't care that you think that I don't fit the certain thing. I will show you. that I will actually make this work. So you have to have this fierce determination, almost like this Delulu, that you're going to be able to make this work. Because even when it comes to auditions, even when it comes to castings, you can be the most talented artist, the most talented actor or actress, but you don't fit the role. So it's not a personal thing. You are not being rejected personally because of your talent. You're being rejected because they were looking for someone with, there was 1.75 or a particular build, or someone whose nose looked a certain shape, or someone whose eyes were a different color, someone whose skin color was different, someone who was a particular age. It's so specific when it comes to actual characters and what they're looking for, that it's very rarely your talent. It's about a fit. So are you going to fit? When you're bringing your audition here, are you going to fit this character or not? And very, very commonly, what artists will do is they'll take it as a personal rejection, and they'll say, I'm not good enough. I'm not a great actor. I don't know why I'm trying in this industry, because I keep on getting told, no, it's no, no, no. I didn't book a job. I didn't book a commercial. I didn't book anything. And I'm trying for such a long time, but all I get is a no. That is one of the setbacks here, because you really have to keep going. You have to keep going, and it's self-motivation. You've got to motivate yourself to be able to put yourself back out there, do it again, do it again, and do it again. Because, like I just explained, it is about a fit. They're looking for something very, very particular when they're casting. So if you fit, you fit. If you don't, you don't. But it does not mean that you're not capable. And it doesn't mean you're bad. It doesn't mean that you're not great at what you're doing. You've just got to be able to persevere. So that is genuinely one of the biggest setbacks, because people can take it very, very personal. Once you take that and you hold on to that, it becomes a self-worth issue. So then your career becomes something where you're questioning your self-worth, which, a lot of other industries, they don't have that in such a direct way, because this is really, it's directed at you. So to be able to really be strong in your personality and strong in your belief system and strong in like the vision of what it is you actually want to achieve, because the doors will be closed on your face continuously, and you just got to keep on knocking. You're like, I'm here, I'm still here, I'm here. And that's like literally when that one door opens, you're going to be like, worth it, worth it. But you've got to be strong about it. And then the second thing of the setbacks is that it's not a very stable profession. So when you go to work as an accountant, you've got your 9 to 5, and obviously you're going to work. That is your set. That's what your set day looks like. So I always look at this not just a setback, but I also think it is a blessing, because we are then blessed with flexibility, and we're blessed with time. So yes, we may not have stable, consistent, stable employment, because I think also as artists we get bored. We're not good with that whole put us in the box and put us in the corner and let us just know that we need things to change all the time. So the stability is that there will be days and there will be moments, and it always is going like that all the time. You're gonna have your highs, you're gonna have your lows. You have to be able to prepare for your lows, because you need to know at some points there's not going to be the work that you have all the time. So what are you doing in that moment there? What are the other things that you can do? What are the other ways that you can supplement your income? That's why you have to think of yourself as a business and not just an artist, because that's when you say, in my low time, in this, it's not low time. It's actually time for me to be able to do different things. Because like I said, you're then blessed with flexibility. You're blessed with time that a lot of other people may not have. So if you can look at everything, and that's how you should always look at life, with this perspective that every challenge is a positive. So instead of
Mm.
looking at things that are like, this is, everyone's like, oh, it's not stable. Be like, well, this is what I get from it. This is how I use those moments to create, to to do so many other things. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Mhm.
feeling me?
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking in a nutshell, as an artist, you got to have passion, self-belief, and humility. That's how I would put it in a nutshell.
Definitely, definitely. You have to. You have to. It's a without the humility, no, no. You got to definitely. Mm, mm,
But then I'm also thinking as an artist, I'm thinking they like a bit of masala in the sense that, as you mentioned, they don't like to be stuck in that rut of 9 to 5. They actually have that sugar and spice, if that makes any sense to
mm.
you.
It's actually like you feel your soul is
Mm.
burning. I've tried a nine
Oh
to
God.
five. Wasn't very good at it.
Oh, which
But
one
in
did you
that
do at nine to
moment,
five? Which one did you
I
do at nine
did a
to
nine
five?
to five. I did a 9 to 5. Um, trying to think. It's a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
It was in marketing. So I was
Okay.
working for a marketing company. And no, no. It was a long time. It was before I had my kids.
Okay.
Uh, so I was just trying to find my feet. I was like, oh, let's see, because we've got to do that as people. We've got to put ourselves in different positions and situations to be able to say, does this work for me or does it not? Because otherwise we just wouldn't know. So I like to try everything. I like to try things and say, okay, that works for me. And this does not work for me. And happiness is also a very important thing. People need to
Yeah.
do things that make them happy. Um, it is very
That's
important. It really is. Because joy and happiness, we need fulfillment as human beings. Yeah.
great. You've interviewed and worked with many interesting people. Is there a particular conversation or collaboration that has stayed with you over the years?
Again, I think I've been very blessed to be able
Mhm.
to, I'd say, network in the way that I have. I've met fascinating, interesting, and wonderful human beings. For me, there isn't one particular. I think it's always, like you said, it's this collaboration. It's where people are always feeding into your spirit. So for me to be able to have worked with or met uh, the artists, the big South African ones, to be able to be around them, be in a room with them, be able to pick their brain and be able to learn from them. I think one of the most important things, and this is actually across probably a few of the very, very reputable and like the legends, okay, the legends that we have in this industry. One of the biggest things that I learned, and it's from all of them, is that no matter how good you are or how long you've been in the industry or how old you are, whether you're a veteran or not, that there's always room to learn.
Mm.
And this was consistent amongst all of them. Like you said, you've got to be able to balance all of this humility, because you never get to this point where you can say, I know it all, because you don't. You will never know it all, because we all have the capacity to learn more. We all can learn more. There are some people though that have, they just think, okay, this is it. I'm so and so. I've done it. I know what I'm doing, and that's it. But honestly, from the best of the best, they will tell you, and what you will take from them is the fact that you can always learn. And they will even tell you that they can learn from from you. I can learn from someone who just started out. I can learn from anybody. There is no like hierarchy of where it is you're going to learn from. You have to be open minded to be able to say, I can actually learn, I can take something away from anyone that I meet, because we're all different. We all have different skills. So you're going to bring something new to the room, to the party. So being able to say that I'm very open minded and I'm going to be able to learn, and also like education. It doesn't matter how old you get, how well you do, how accomplished you are, what you think you know. Open that book and educate yourself further and further and further and further. And look, when it comes to artists, you can also just jump onto YouTube and listen to podcasts because you're getting your education from streaming. So go and do that. Listen to different podcasts, listen to different people, listen to their life experience, because that is also education. The education is not just the book in your hand. So go on researching and learning is probably the best thing that I have learned from the people that I've worked with.
Awesome. Success often comes with pressure. How do you maintain balance between your professional life and your personal well-being?
Oh, that's a question, huh? Mm, that's a question. Ooh. How do
I
you do
like your
it?
vibe. Oh, how do I do it? Honestly, when it comes to this space, I'm just learning as it comes. I'm not a Joe Rogan or a Piers Morgan yet, so I'm still evolving. So how do
But
you
you
do it?
will.
Amen. Amen. God
That's
willing.
it. That's it. We've got to. um, I think that it's very important. So a lot of what I do, especially now in my life, is purpose driven to be of service to women that do not prioritize themselves and who have self sacrificed to their own detriment. And this does come from not knowing how to balance your personal well being and everything else. So it's not just profession, it's everything else that is expected and demanded of a woman. We have been conditioned to carry every single burden, every single plate, every single cup and saucer, and juggle it on our heads and act like it's okay and it's fine for us to burn out and it's fine for us to not take care of ourselves because we get this badge that says it's okay, you're taking care of everybody else and you're doing all these other wonderful things. So well done, you're a superwoman and you're doing it. There is this lack of, I'm not important. I don't matter. So the balance is, it's become, a conversation. It's become something that, um, I like to speak about. We like to do a lot of coaching, a lot of mentorship when it comes to women being able to say, I do not feel guilty to put myself first. And it's a big one. It's a big one. It's a shift to be able to say that I have to be able to balance. I have to be
Hmm.
able to say that I prioritize my own well being so that I can do better with everything else that I'm taking on. So it's a big one to digest because, again, I said we're battling it's all of this conditioning that we've been brought up with to be a certain way, whether it's a caretaker, whether it's taking care of the children and taking care of them to a point where you are exhausted, but you're still going to do it. Taking care of family responsibilities, the workload. So I think really I've been lucky and blessed to be able to be in a position of um, more impact. I don't like to say like influence, but it really is where when you look at it in a way where you're actually blessed to be in the position that you are so that you can speak on the things that matter. And then you also know that there is a way that you can be of service to others. And so I do feel very passionately about changing that. It's a mindset
Hmm.
and saying, this is what we're going to do as women, as a sisterhood in a lot of the events and a lot of things that I do, a lot of the speaking stuff. We come together and we say, let's take the guilt off. Let's take this, whatever it is, off. Let's take the expectation away. And then we really unpack who am I? Like, who am I as an individual? Who am I as a human being instead of mother, sister, daughter, wife? Who am I as a person? And when you start unpacking that, you then realize that if this is who I am, these are the needs that I have. And if I can fulfill maybe one or two, that's going to give me a balance because it's going to give me joy. And if I am joyful and if I am okay, I can do better for everybody else. So, yeah, when it comes to the balance thing, it's all stepping stones. And I am grateful to be walking this journey with a lot of other strong and beautiful women in a sisterhood where we are saying we're going to get the balance right. We're going to take off this thing where we're supposed to juggle everything at the same time. And we're going to say, you know what? We're going to prioritize our own rest. Sometimes it's as simple as going to bed and having a good night's sleep.
So that's so true. If you could give one piece of advice to a young person dreaming of a career in broadcasting or television, what would it be?
I would definitely say that you, you know, when they say you have to have a thick skin, you have to have like
Mm,
crocodile. Um, I know everyone gives like, the normal advice of, keep going and don't give up. And
mm,
for me, you have to have crocodile skin because you're
wow.
also in an industry of social media. Social media is, as an artist, you're going to put your life online. When you are a young person and you still are developing and you don't really understand uh, who you are or what you want to be, and you put yourself out there in this world that can be really, really brutal. If you don't have that thick skin and you put yourself out here in this industry on these platforms, it can affect you in ways that people don't speak about often enough or in a big enough way. Because the amount of bullying for a young person, no, like it's not okay. So I always believe that do it. Put yourself out there. Yourself out there. Post what you want. Even if you want to post auditions and self tapes or whatever it is, go and do it and know that you know better than anyone else that is online. And whether it is even a casting director or somebody online telling you something, you need to always understand that your internal programming is what's going to make you who you
Mm,
are going to be later on in life. So when you are young and you're putting yourself in this industry, understand that a lot of people are projecting. So when people are saying things to you, if you can just look at that and be like, "Are you talking about yourself? Oh, I see you. Okay." And you put this really like a wall in between yourself. That is really my advice to you because this industry is mixed with social media. You cannot separate the two.
mm.
And obviously, if you're going to be on plays or you're going to be on TV, you're going to be in cinema, you're going to be on films, you're opening yourself up to massive amounts of commentary. Everyone's going to have something to say about you. So building that skin and building that thick skin, and I'm going to say you can really only do that with prayer and your faith in God and your relationship with God. So when you're sitting and you're praying to whoever it is you pray to, you're praying and you're saying, "This is my purpose, this is my passion, this is where I know I'm supposed to be. Now you give me what I need to be able to get there." And one of those things is crocodile skin.
That's really powerful. What are you most passionate about outside of your professional career, and how will that influence the person you are today?
Can you say that you're passionate about your children?
Yeah,
Is that a
definitely.
thing?
Why not?
Because really, that I mean, that is that is probably, yeah. I'm going to say it in another way. I'm going to say what influences me. Like outside of my career, what is the biggest influence that I have and that actually shapes me as a human being? And for me, that's going to be my children, my two boys, Zorin and Kairos. They're 11 and 10 years old. And these two little human beings, they honestly, when mothers do say, we live for our children, we do. We live for our children. Um, and every decision, every thought, every prayer, every movement, everything that you're doing as a person, you're doing it with your children in mind. I don't want to succeed because of me. I want to show them that success is possible against all odds. And when bad things happen, you can rebuild. So everything that I do, I am showing them, teaching them resilience. I'm teaching them that it doesn't matter what people say to you. For me, my kids, they're my entire world. And I am out here building, growing, living for them because they get to see a mom that's living with joy and they get to see happiness. We are our children's first role models, and we are the biggest influence that they have when they're young. Hopefully when they're old, I don't know. But we have this beautiful and important role, and it's a role that I do not take lightly. It's a responsibility that I do not take lightly. So I put in a lot of effort, whether it comes to reading and then just being present, being a present mother. I think that's such an important thing because when we're growing up, we actually have so much subconscious programming that happens when we are younger. And there's so many people right now that are, going and trying to heal from childhood trauma or anything that happened in their childhood because of the things that we hear when we are younger. So when it comes to my kids, I'm always present. We always watch what we say and how we say. We're always manifesting. So everything is positive. Everything is, we're going to throw things out to the universe and we see it. We clap when we see it because it comes back tenfold. But being present for me is probably one of the biggest gifts. And I'll play on the word present and gift. But being present is one of the biggest gifts I can give them because there's not a moment when they say, Mom, and I'm saying, 1 second. What? No. Oh, I need a hug, but you're just like, wait, I'm gonna. No, they get the hug. They get the hug right there and right now because when they grow up, they're going to know that they were seen and they were heard and they were valued and they were supported and they were loved. So, yeah, I think a lot of my life revolves around the tiny human beings and being there, creating wonderful memories and bringing them into my world and showing them that, yes, anything can be done. It can be done. As long as you believe it, think about it, it's going to happen.
Basically, you just want to be an inspiration for your kids.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, I'll get to the final question and then I'll get to the comment questions. All right. Looking ahead, what exciting projects or goals are you working towards, and what can your supporters look forward to next?
We've got two projects at the moment. We're going to be shooting a movie. I cannot speak too much about it. You're always going to get that when it comes to artists and interviews. And they're going to say, I have this in the pipeline, but I can't tell you too much. That usually
Yeah, maybe
does
for the
happen,
next
but there
chat you
is a
can tell me.
movie. Hmm?
I said maybe for the next chat you can tell me more about it.
Exactly. Then we're going to have more information, but I am playing an attorney
Okay,
in this movie.
right.
Very interesting. I'm very excited about it. And yeah, we're going to be shooting and working on that very soon. And we'll keep you updated when that comes out. And there is other work that is in the pipeline that I'm actually working on something at the moment as well. But again, next interview, I'll be able to tell you more about the stuff that's actually airing on screen. But For now, personally, I'm actually launching my own personal brand. So it's my own online community. And that
Wow.
I'm launching it in August, which is my birthday month. So it's my present to myself and to everybody else. So yeah, it's going to be an online community that is really all about empowerment, wellness, support. There's just, I think I've been through so much in my life personally. And a lot of that, it's been my test, which I'm turning into my testimony. So I've put together a lot of, from survival to strength, because we're always surviving. And at some point, we need to thrive. So what I've been through in my life, having to rebuild from the bottom and come back up, build this life for my kids, um, and have this responsibility that I have on my shoulders, and then not crack, because there's no way that you can do that. So I've been able to just put all of that together as a way to show moms, or moms that are doing it on their own, that it is possible. We got this, and you can rebuild, and you can rebuild better. You can thrive. You can be happy. You can be joyful. So that's gonna come in my online, and then I have online shop. We've got some beautiful products that we're gonna have in the e-commerce. Let's talk in business.
I like
So
it.
yeah, we're launching that in August. I'm very excited. It'll be kajalmaharaj.com. When you jump onto that site, you'll be able to see all the wonderful things that I am doing.
Awesome. All right, I'll get to this one comment question here. This is from Rish Jitin. Okay, dear Kajal, well done in your achievements. We are proud of you. You are beautiful, talented, energetic, and vibrant. I think you have touched on this when I answered the questions, but you can probably just answer this in a nutshell. What influenced you into acting? What were your most memorable moments? Okay.
Yeah, I just knew that I didn't want to do anything else. I really didn't want to do anything else. And I was very
Okay.
determined about it. So I had laser vision.
Wow.
It's like, there wasn't, when you have laser vision, you're able to
Mm.
accomplish the things that you want to, because you're not sitting there doubting.
Mm.
When you're doubting yourself, then you're going
Yeah.
to be like, should I? Shouldn't I? Maybe I'll try that.
Procrastinate.
I'll be a
Mm.
scuba diving teacher. I'm going to try my hand at something else. And when you do that, and without the laser focus, it's very difficult to actually achieve the things that you want to achieve, especially in a world where we're stimulated by so many different things. We're pulled in so many different directions. So definitely the influence, like I did mention earlier, was that this
Yeah.
was passion driven. There was no other option. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think we want to add in one more memorable moment, maybe, because I think there was that question. What were your most memorable moments? And probably just add in one more or something.
Mm, most memorable moments. My goodness. No, no. Memory is
Okay.
not good with me.
All right.
I
No
live in the
problem.
present moment.
Well said. Okay. All I got to say, Kajal, it's been really awesome having you on, and I definitely look forward to catching up with you, especially with your projects, especially.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And wishing you all the best.
Likewise.